is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Kirkland, Washington, the site of the 2026 Junior League Softball World Series. And our third game of the day is set to begin. It's the second game of the day for the Asia Pacific region champions from Bacolod City in the Philippines, and the debut here in Kirkland for Shiner Little League, the Southwest region champions from the state of Texas. It's been a fun day so far. It's been action-packed. Let's give you a look at how things have shaken out so far after two games. This is a Pool B matchup that's about to unfold here between Texas and the Philippines. Philippines, a tightly contested but close loss 3-1, a two-run home run by California in the seventh inning, the deciding factor in that one. Meanwhile, the East Region champions from Pennsylvania, 7-1 winners over Canada. It's great to have you with us inside field number 2 here at Everest Park in Kirkland, Washington. Troy Clarity, Kirk Walker, the coach, and you. It's awesome to have you on board here with us. Kirk, it all comes down to this final game of this first day. We've seen what the Philippines can do. Intrigued to see what the young ladies from Shiner, Texas might bring to the party here today.
It's been an absolutely spectacular day. I think the weather's been great. We got through the rain this morning, and it's just been beautiful out here, and some great softball. Great pitching. We've seen some great defense, and absolutely some big hits. So I'm excited to see about this next game, this last game of the day, and excited to see what Texas will be bringing.
Yeah, high-level stuff all the way around. We expect nothing less than that once again this time around. Second game of the day for Asia Pacific. As you look at their manager, Lizvi Halandoni, she is bringing her squad out. They are the visiting team for this game, and they have a full squad, 1 through 14 in Little League. Of course, there is continuous batting order. That means that if you are on the roster, you are in the batting order and you get a chance to play. So it's a full roster and a full batting order for the Philippines. There they are, 1 through 14. Charisse Barlita in the 3 spot had 2 singles in the game earlier this morning. Sirocco down towards the bottom of the lineup. She had a big double in the 7th inning, but got picked off at 3rd in the bottom of the 7th, and that thwarted the Philippines' attempt to try to win the game. They will be squaring off against this young lady in the circle for Shiner Little League out of Texas, Avery Coleman, one of the leaders of this squad.
Avery Coleman, a great athlete. Obviously, she's also hitting in the 4 spot and opening up today as a starter. And she's going to be obviously her debut game here for the Little League World Series, and excited to see what she's going to bring. But she's an elite athlete and certainly one of their top pitchers.
We'll tell you more about Shiner Little League as we go, but they were able to survive the Southwest region. They had to win 6 games in order to emerge victorious from that region championship. Philippines back in action, squaring off against Texas. Away we go. Enjoy the game, everybody. As our action begins with Audrey Colleen Mataron at the plate, facing off against Coleman. The 1-0 pitch, framed well by the catcher Charlotte Harrell. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Audrey, one of the 6 members of this Bacolod City Little League team that was here in Kirkland last year.
Big swing there. It's hard for her to stay off that up pitch. Down 2 strikes.
Count out 1 and 2 to Mataron, who says her special talent is organizing things. Helping her teammates remember their plays.
I love that when I wrote that and saw that down. That's something to be proud of, and a skill set that I think we all could probably appreciate.
I like to organize things. Audrey, come back. Come and take a look at my home office. Going outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Fair ball to 3rd. Across the diamond. Cuevas to Bain. 1 away.
Nice play by the 3rd baseman.
Cuevas getting it done at the hot corner, and that brings up Jewel Miles Behar. Har also was here in Kirkland last year, hit 500 during the Philippines stay in 2025. Also drove in 5. Kind of tough in some respects, as Bacolod City Little League went 1-3 in pool play last year. On the ground to short. 2 gone.
Defense getting it done here. Both Jewel and Audrey have aspirations to be police officers, and I think that's a noble aspiration.
Yes, he did. Easton Polar coming up with a nice play at short. Brings up Charisse Barlita. He went 2 for 2, a couple of singles this morning.
Played really well this morning. Obviously, he came up on the short end. Oh,
ouch. Barlita back up to her feet. Sure that everything is where it needs to be, and heads over to first.
A little bit of pain there, but I'm sure she'll be happy to be on first base when she starts feeling her hands again.
Yeah, hopefully she for her perspective, she gets a chance to run it off.
Yeah,
a bit.
There you go.
Jessica Palmera stepping up to the plate. Swung out of her socks there. Nothing in 1. Philippines had moments this morning against the West Region champions from California, but a lot of little things did not quite go its way.
Yeah, it was really it was a game of specific moments, and I think obviously their pitcher threw a really good ball game. Offensively, they had moments, but had a lot of strikeouts.
Count stays at 0-2. Palmero with a couple of swings. Coleman ready. The 0-2. And this one's hit to right. Coming up, Price makes the catch. That is out number 3. We will see the Philippines' terrific pitcher coming up in just a moment. On first. Philippines 0, and Texas coming up to the plate as we move to the bottom of the first inning. Texas in the dugout, ready to pick up the bats. The Philippines taking the field. Shiner Little League out of Shiner, Texas. And they have a shorter batting order than most of the teams here. We'll tell you about that in a moment. First, we begin with Faith Tamba. We saw her this morning. She went the distance. She threw 34 pitches in the first 3 innings. 31 of them were strikes. She struck out 10, made 1 mistake in the 7th. However, that was really the difference in the game.
It really was. She threw a fantastic game. I think she was certainly throwing a lot of strikes and going right at their opponent. And a big hit in the 7th inning was what ended the game, but she really did pitch a really nice ball game.
She certainly did. She's hoping to end up in the win column by close of business here in this game. Meanwhile, Texas's batting order, just 1 through 11. This might be the shortest staff team that we might have here in Kirkland, but they do go 1 through 11, and some young ladies along the way who have come through with some clutch hits, including Charlotte Harrell, who hit a grand slam in the Southwest Championship game to down New Mexico.
It certainly can allow you to get to the top of the order a little quicker, and that's great.
There's Melissa Coleman, manager of the team, says that this team has worked hard over the years to earn a banner. They earned that banner. Now they're here. Now they want to get a banner in Kirkland. And a trophy along the way, too. I think there's a trophy. I need to confirm that. Allie Trojak, the batter, to lead things off. First pitch strike by Tamba. Allie, a big fan of Reese Atwood, former Texas great. Austin, Texas, not that far away from Shiner, which is about 90 miles east of San Antonio. Waves at that one, 0-2.
Reese Atwoods is a popular one anyways, but if you're in Texas, she certainly is a focal point. It doesn't matter how big Texas is, she's been a big highlight of the state.
Trojak stepping back in, no balls, 2 strikes. Tamba deals. Perhaps just a touch low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. What are some things pitch-wise that you saw from Tamba this morning that might potentially be applied here this time around against Texas?
Well, one of the things she did really well, I think she took the ball and went low and high. She kind of worked in the 2 zones and 2 planes, worked a lot outside. And I think what we saw early in the game earlier this morning, she threw a lot of strikes. So it wasn't until the opposing team started to swing the bat a little bit more that we saw her get hit a little bit harder.
Yeah, struck out 5 of the first 6 batters she faced this morning. Strikes out the first batter she faces this afternoon. Trojak goes down on strikes.
We didn't see a lot of change in speeds, but we definitely saw some great movement on the outside, a little bit of a rise, a little bit of a curve, and certainly think that she's going to continue to attack in those areas.
Brings up Amara Cuevas. Goes over for a called strike 1. The first 14 batters that Tamba faced this morning, she delivered first pitch strikes to.
Yeah, you brought that up to the attention, and I think the opposing team started to realize that, and they started swinging a little bit more in the first strike.
All of a sudden, very, very breezy here at the park. No balls, 2 strikes. Wade is trying to chase that one. It's been breezy off and on throughout the afternoon. Sun is out. It will be dry. Had a rain shower move through this morning that pushed things back and out. No balls and 2 strikes to Cuevas. Got it. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Starting out very similar to as she did this morning. I think just pounding the strike zone, and definitely with that movement and velocity, she's going to get a lot of swing and misses.
It's simple math in a sense. Movement plus velocity equals that. Well, I was told there would be no math. Fans in the building. Pulling for the young ladies from Bacolod City in the Philippines. Easton Polar, the batter. Pitch catches the outside corner. A little movement tailing away from the left-handed batter for called strike 1. Polar hit an over-the-fence home run during the regionals. No balls and 1 strike. Fouls that one off, it lands behind us. No balls and 2 strikes. Shiner, Texas. Shiner Little League, 6-0 in regionals. Along the way, they were actually down to New Mexico 5-1. came back to win that one 6-5. And then beat New Mexico again in the championship game. Going outside, 1-2.
Polar, one of those unique athletes, obviously, that is a right-handed batter, a right-handed thrower, but steps to plate as a left-handed hitter. And she swings a big bat and isn't just moved on the left side because she's a slapper. She actually is a power hitter from that left side.
Can't connect on that one. Goes down and misses. Strike 3. Back-to-back-to-back Ks for Tamba to begin her afternoon. We are through 1 inning, and already Tamba is setting the tone. Down goes Trojak, down goes Cuevas, and Polar makes it 3 in a row. Saluting our umpires who help make this event what it is. There's home plate umpire for this game, Sam Fontecchio, calling the balls and strikes for this one between the Philippines and Texas. Texas Velasquez at first, and Hoffman is at second, and Jose Chaparro Santiago, the crew chief, he's working third. Umpires are here on a volunteer basis. They're here on their own time and on their own dime.
Purely a labor of love, and obviously have a great passion for the sport. It's great to see these men and women out here that are dedicating their time and giving back to the sport.
Kirk, you'd be here on your own dime too.
I don't know that I'd be here officiating on my own time and dime. I certainly would be happy to be here as a fan. I don't know if I'd want to be the umpire.
It can be a thankless gig sometimes, but you know what? We'll thank them right here and now. Faith Tamba ahead in the count 2-0. Tamba went 1 for 2 at the plate this morning. She would love to be Amanda Scarborough. Swatted on the ground, and the throw to first a bit high. Got her anyway. Couple of plays early on by Polar at short. Maybe even gotten a little help from our first baseman, Dane, climbing the ladder and keeping the foot on the bag.
Good job of keeping that foot on the bag. Polar's one of the taller players out there, and she's pretty thankful that her first baseman's got some good height as well.
Joey Feb Diaz, the batter. Swings through that one, 1-1.
These Philippine hitters have never stepped to the plate without getting their full hacks. They love to swing.
Fouled off the backstop, 1-2. intriguing to note, 2 of the last 3 Junior League Softball World Series have been won by international teams. That one tails outside, 2-2. 2024 Junior League Softball World Series won by the Europe-Africa champions from Czechia.
It's amazing.
And the 2023 Junior League Softball World Series won by Bacolod City Little League from the Philippines. They were a lot of fun to watch. Full count on Diaz. Touch high, that's ball 4. Of course, the winners of last year's Junior League Softball World Series came from the Southwest region, Columbus, Texas. Shiner, Texas, trying to make it back-to-back for the Southwest region. Our first look at Jenny Rose Bermojino. There's a bit more on Jenny Rose. Lays down the bunt. It's a beauty. And moves over the runner.
Really nice job by Cuevas over there at third base. Jenny's speed down the line was definitely a factor, but Cuevas stayed composed and made a great throw. It moves that runner to scoring position, though, as we stepping in here. All those 2 outs, it's always a lot more pressure on that defense when you've got runners in scoring position.
So Polar with a couple of nifty plays at short, and now Cuevas has a couple of nifty plays at third. A chance for Trojak, and she adds to the party here. Well, Shiner literally packed their gloves here to Kirkland. Nice work all the way around. We're scoreless with the bottom of the second, straight ahead. Pitching and defense, the order of the day so far. Fans rooting on the Philippines. Looking on here, field number 2, Everest Park. Scoreless bottom second, about to unfold. Professional softball is returning to Greenville, North Carolina for the 2026 AUSL Pro Game. That's presented by Dick's Sporting Goods and set to take place on Wednesday, August 5th. Learn more at littleleague.org/athletes unlimited. Little League Softball World Series got underway today out in Greenville. We're here in Kirkland for day 1 of the Junior League Softball World Series. First pitch on the outside corner called. Avery Coleman at the plate with Faith Tomba in the circle. No balls and 1 strike. Waves at that one well outside, 0-2. Avery says her favorite subject is technology. How about that?
Well, that's the future. If you're in the technology business, I think you're going to have a long long, successful career.
No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Coleman chases and doesn't get it.
Tama keeps bringing it. She's using that out pitch on the outside with a little bit of a rise curve movement on it. Getting those hitters to chase that ball out of the zone.
A little bit of rise curve movement. How are you supposed to hit that?
Exactly.
Put all those things together in one pitch. Holy smokes. 4 batters faced, 4 strikeouts for Tamba. Charlotte Harrell tried to reverse that trend for Texas. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Big swing by Harrell there.
Charlotte has shown tremendous growth as a batter, that according to Melissa Coleman, the manager of the team. The 0-1. Just in front of that one, heads up. We're in the third base coach's box. Yeah, there's Melissa, heads up. She's okay. She's hearing it from the fans and the parents for Texas, off to our right.
Harrell's normal number is number 3, and it's a throwback. She wears number 3 because of Babe Ruth.
Ah, perhaps the ultimate throwback baseball. The 0-2. Popped up, giving chase, foul ground, foul ball.
I don't know of too many athletes out here that might know the number that Babe Ruth wore, but that's a pretty cool stat. I think they might know what number Reese Atwood's wearing before they know what Babe Ruth is wearing.
Hey, you always got to love when the kids appreciate the classics.
I think it's a cool thing.
Well, Charlotte Harrell, speaking of appreciating the classics, listen to Big Papa by Notorious B.I.G. before every game.
And her special talent, playing the piano.
No balls, 2 strikes. Trying to steer that down the third base line with foul. Harrell to try it again. No balls and 2 strikes.
She's an athlete that has a lot of belief in herself and a lot of confidence. When asked on their team who did she believe would be the future president, she said herself. So aspirations to do big things.
Nothing wrong with ambition.
I think it's awesome.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch. Inside. Well done. 5 for 5.
Tom doing a good job of switching and actually coming to the inside corner. And really, again, giving this team from Texas a lot of fits.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we've seen that pitch from Faith so far.
I was going to say, it's not a normal pitch for her. She's been relying a little bit more heavy on the outside, but she changed it up and came inside.
Madison Olchak, the batter. Madison's mom, Amanda, played softball at Texas Lutheran.
So many of these athletes these days, you know, they have moms as role models that played a lot of sports and played possibly softball, but certainly played a lot of sports growing up. And I think it's a great thing, you know, that this generation knows women's sports, right? They watch women's sports. Everyone watches women's sports. And many of them grew up probably loving to be able to watch their moms play.
Moms, sisters, aunts. A 1-1. In front of that one, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tamba, cool, calm, collected. Deals the 1-2. 6 batters faced, 6 batters struck out. Faith Tamba is dealing early on. 2 innings in, scoreless in Kirkland. Sunny skies here at scenic Everest Park, Kirkland, Washington. Wasn't sunny this morning. It started raining on my drive up from the hotel at around 8:30 or so this morning. The rain continued for a bit, pushed things back an hour. Looking at things right now, you would never have known that the Pacific Northwest decided to Pacific Northwest this morning.
Well, the one thing you can always guarantee in the Pacific Northwest is that rain is always in the forecast.
No matter time nor place.
Or time of the year.
It's great to have you with us here as we head to the 3rd inning. Troy Clarity, Kirk Walker, Philippines versus Texas. Junior League Softball World Series. Angel Chua at the plate. Angel had an RBI single for the Philippines this morning. That ended up being the only run of the game for the Asia Pacific region champs. Coleman ahead in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, Avery's done a great job. She's got a lot of ground ball outs, but she's coming right at the strike zone and putting the ball up in the zone a little bit, which is, even though she's getting a lot of ground balls, she's definitely moving the ball around in the strike zone.
Pitch perhaps a touch high. Yeah, intriguing. As the 1-2 in play. Throw to first, safe.
Angel hustling down the line. It's great to see her sliding in there head first into first base. Not a normal tactic and not necessarily the fastest way to get there, but she was motivated.
In by a couple of fingernails. I almost said finger lashes for some reason. That's my game, 3rd game of the day.
By the eyelash, the fingernails. We got you.
It's my 3rd game of the day. I'm liable to say anything. 1 ball, no strikes to Janine Pasilan. Bunt, bounces foul. It's intriguing to note that Philippines has relied on strikeouts so far, 6 for 6 in that category. Texas has relied on its defense, especially the left side of the infield.
Yeah.
Shortstop and third have both done well.
Absolutely. Even though Coleman's throwing high in the zone, we're seeing a lot of balls put into play.
Foul again, 1-2.
Chua's speed on first base is definitely a threat because the ball put out into the outfield is most likely going to end up and result with her at third base.
At the very least. Thought about it, doesn't go for it, and gets rung up. Here we Coleman's first strikeout of the day.
No time better than obviously when you have a runner on base. You'll love to take a strikeout and don't have to worry about runners being in motion and trying to make a play.
That brings up Jamaica Bernadette Sirocco. Her nickname is Jammin', and she's jamming with the single.
And they're sending her home.
And it's going to result in a run scored. Sirocco to second, got her there. But the Philippines takes a 1-0 lead.
Angel speed, obviously, Chua, as she was running around second base, full go. And the outfielders threw behind the runner, through to second base, and never looked at her coming around. She never stopped.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts on this play as we show you the replay of it. Defensively, what are the big things that you're keeping an eye on here?
Well, first thing is that not playing the ball clean there in third obviously allowed her to get to third base. But with that speed, you've got to be bringing that ball into home. Throwing behind to second base with that kind of speed, you just really open up the door. And she never broke stride. So defensively, you want to be able to manage your runners. Ideally, the throw to second would be normal without super speed there at third base, but too much speed to throw behind her.
Bounces to the backstop. 2 balls, no strikes to Ellen Passion. Ellen's favorite TV show is Tom and Jerry. Speaking about appreciating the classics.
Who doesn't love Tom and Jerry?
Tom's probably not a fan. Fouled off. 2-1.
Catcher did do a good job in that last play, though, in redirecting that ball to the back to second base and got an out out of that play. But obviously not going to keep that run from scoring.
Well, and part of me wonders if that might be a hidden sequence here. As that ball goes into center field, that's a base hit. But there's no one on the base paths for Passion to drive in.
100%. That's why that play becomes critical. Obviously, the catcher continuing to throw that ball down to second and getting that runner thrown out at second changed complexity right here.
Nice swing, good contact. Philippines might be wishing that there was someone at second to try to make it a 2-0 game. As it is, Georgina Nile Castillo looks at ball, look at strike one, check that. Georgina also plays hoops and futsal. How about that?
Yeah. They've got quite a few that like futsal, and I think it's an amazing sport that requires a lot of body awareness and skill,
yeah.
Agility.
Footwork's got to be on point.
Pretty unbelievable.
No balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball, foul territory, and out of play. We've seen one over the fence home run so far today. Like California earlier this morning. It was off the Philippines. That was a big difference in the game. Came to the top of the 7th. How about that pitch from Avery Coleman? Strike 3 call. But the Philippines gets the first run of the game on the board. A wild sequence with Sirocco driving in the run. Right now it's 1-0, bottom third coming up. Kirkland, Washington, home of the Junior League Softball World Series, has been since 1999. 2026 version is underway. We're wrapping up our first day of this event with this game. Philippines leading Texas 1-0.
And Faith Tomba on the mound again here, doing a great job, really coming out at her second game of the day. And those of you that might be used to the Little League rules, pitching rules, might understand that at the junior level here, there's no restrictions on the number of innings or games pitched in a day or in the week.
Kendall Bain at the plate for Texas.
They also, at this level, is the first time that they shift and switch from pitching distance at 40 feet, and they're pitching now at 43 feet at the junior level.
Clapped up the middle, base hit. Gobbled up out there by Antira. But Kendall Bain on board.
First hit of the game. Critically, the center fielder cut that off is really critical. That ball easily could have gone through to the fence, which would have resulted in being a double. So great job defensively, managing, keeping that runner at first base.
Yeah, well handled. She had it the whole way.
Right fielder did a good job of backing up behind her, but it was definitely could be a difference in this ball game.
Fisher Price at the plate. Pitch high, throw back to first. Back in safely is Bain. Patricia Price. Her dad Gilbert, starting quarterback for Shiner High School state championship team back in 1986. I understand that if you win state in football in Texas, it's kind of a big deal.
It's a big deal. Football in Texas, it's a religion.
Huh, okay. Shiner softball, by the way, has won state 8 times. Shiner High School has racked up some state trophies over the years. Price about to face the 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
It's a healthy cut right there. It's a hitter's pitch, obviously, so she took a full advantage of taking full swing.
Right down the middle, 2-2.
You can see Price here is really standing on top of the plate, trying to attack that outside part of the plate.
Two with the runner at first. Off the fist, but fights it off.
And Tom is seeing that, obviously coming back inside. As Price is standing on top of the plate, it makes it a tough pitch for her to keep in play. We're definitely seeing a little different look here from Faith Tomba as she's throwing a little bit more inside.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Number 7.
She's an athlete that just exudes confidence out there, and it's fun to see an athlete that just relies on her ability and her talent. She's got great mechanics. And you can just imagine she's telling the coach every day, I want the ball.
Coach Price says, okay, hey, here you go.
And if you have an athlete like that saying that, you're saying go right on out there, yeah.
Reese Lyons chases the first pitch, 0-1. Runner at first, right of your screen. Inside, gets the corner called. Lyons even she was standing in on the plate, then kind of backed off by the half step, mid-pitch.
I think the velocity that Tom is throwing here, we definitely, it's intimidated those hitters on the inside part of the plate.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8. 8 outs recorded so far for the Philippines have been via strikeout. Here's the latest. 10th batter in the order is Don Bishop. Swings and misses here. Don says that she likes all the Rocky movies. Okay, so all 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There weren't any others, were there?
Were there?
I don't know. So.
There might have been a few other iterations.
I just consider 1 through 4. Nothing in 2. Right now, Faith Tomlin.
What's your favorite Rocky movie?
Wow. Overall, probably 4.
Same.
I'm still amazed that Mr. T did not get a Best Supporting Actor nomination for Clubber Lang in Rocky 3. Faith Tomlin's been pitching like Clubber Lang here so far in this one. With 8 strikeouts already, make it 9.
Faith bringing the high hard stuff. Swing and a miss.
The Philippines continues. Hangs on to its 1-0 lead with 3 innings in the book. Tamba bringing them up left and right. This has been fun to watch, and we've got more. 4th inning coming up. Well, it might not necessarily feel like it with its 70 degrees or thereabouts here in the Pacific Northwest, but we are indeed in the dog days of August. Start of the 4th inning here, 1-0 Philippines with the lead. Little League is the most trusted youth sports organization in the world, keeping baseball and softball accessible for all kids. But its real power comes from you. Help us rally for Little League by texting RALLY to 345-345 today. Standard messaging rates apply. Bottom of the order for the Philippines, which always gets fantastic support here in Seattle. Big cut.
They have a full bleacher here of people with Philippine colors on, flags, all kinds of garments.
Yeah, I think they do a big dinner for the young ladies while they're here.
The Filipino community is a very tight community for sure.
Michaela Joyce Agong is the batter. Some of the fans pulling for the Philippines here in the building. Vocal, too. It's always great to see. High chop past Coleman. Can Polar make a play? The throw low and wide. Saigon is safe at first. Scored an infield single.
It's a tough play to make. The only opportunity I think probably would have been if Coleman could get back to make a catch, which would have been a spectacular play.
Boy, that ball just seemed to kind of die once it got past Coleman.
A little bit of backspin on it.
Back to the top of the order we go with Audrey Colleen Materang. Grounded out to third to begin the game back in the first.
Materang's an experienced player here. Obviously has been to 5 consecutive Little League World Series. And that's going to be a hit.
Sure will. Everybody's safe. Boy, just dropped it down, dead in the ball about as well as you can do.
One of the adjustments she made there, obviously the first attempt she was on the move and trying to move to first base a little too quick. That time she focused on putting the bunt down before she took off, and no play with that kind of speed.
Back-to-back singles to begin. Pitch called on the outside corner. Bahar grounded to short. First, and her first at-bat of the day. Fouled off. Big cut there by Bahar, who says she would love to go to Canada. Well, it's not that far away from where we are here. Oh, maybe you'd say about an hour and a half drive, maybe north of here.
It's a little bit farther than that, but not a lot.
Okay.
Probably, yeah, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Just pick up by 5, you'll get there. Fly ball to left field. And that falls in left field. And the bases are loaded.
I think the ball was affected a little bit by the wind there. Kind of started to tail off on that and pull back in. The wind's blowing in for that left fielder.
Yeah, the wind appears to have shifted around a little bit. Was going from left to right. Now it appears to be blowing in from left. And perhaps that changed the trajectory of the ball at the absolute wrong time up there for Don Bishop.
They're fortunate that ball didn't travel too far away, so they weren't able to score. But
Arleta pops this
trouble. It's going to fall.
And no one's going to get there. Falls between 3 defenders. 1 run scores. The throw overcooked, but the run is in. And it's 2-0. Well, what's the old saying? Hit them where they ain't. There was a giant chasm there in the defense for Shiner Little League.
Yeah, again, with the wind blowing in as hard as it was at the time, best shot at making that play would have been the shortstop going out. This ball got held up and actually didn't travel out to the left fielder.
Ball's harmlessly in shallow left center. That allows Agon to score. And now, some words in the circle. Trying to get everyone on the same page. Trying to limit the damage as much as it possibly can. Bases loaded, nobody out. First 4 batters have reached. Jessica Palmera can certainly put Texas in a world of hurt here with 1 swing. And she might have.
That's going to score. That's going to clear the bases.
2 are in. The ball's still rolling. 3 are in. And Jessica Palmera delivers a 3-run triple.
Really good job of hitting that there. As she stepped in the plate, she was right on top of the plate, looking to swing aggressive, and that ball just stayed fair. I think I might want them to look at that if I was on the Texas side. Make sure that it landed fair.
It was close. We'll show you what we have here, as it did appear to land in fair territory. That drives in 3. And this play drives in another. Would have been tough for Poehler to pull that one off. Palmera takes advantage, and now it's 6-0.
Yeah, the run would have scored either way, but if she was able to gain control and be able to make a play, that would have been a big out. She wasn't going to have a shot at home. But right now, more importantly, Texas needs to get some outs, change the dynamic of this inning.
Feb Diaz trying to keep it going.
The Philippine team is really doing a great job of just putting the ball in play and allowing their speed to really be a factor.
Yeah. 5 so far. This frame. O'Mara's three-run triple, rather, the big difference. O'Mara hit a 2-run triple last year against California. That was a go-ahead 2-run triple. Ended up being runs that put Philippines ahead to stay. Heads up out there. You good? You okay? You all right? Piece of cake.
Good grab by the cameraman.
Alex had it the whole way. What's the saying in soccer? The ball always finds the stars. The true stars are the camera operators here at this show. We just talk. Fouled off 1 and 2 once again.
I don't know. I thought they used to say the ball always finds the one not paying attention. I don't know. I thought that's what they used to say. I don't know.
Diaz ready.
Texas looking for their first out here.
The saga of this at-bat continues.
You know, this is where Texas' defense had been really valuable in those first 3 innings. Fielding a lot of ground balls, making a lot of those plays. But this inning, they've had a hard time coming up with those plays.
Just misses 2 and 2. An error in the outfield. Not helping Texas's cause. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trying to locate it. Making the grab. It's Ali Trojak. Finally, the first out of the inning. Well, if you're Texas, you got to start somewhere. You
Absolutely.
Need it down.
You got to feed off of the positive things that happened and look to make now the second out.
Jenny Rose Hermajino. Carr, Jenny Rose reaches up, rubs her shoulder, and immediately takes first base.
Had a couple of hit batters here this game, and it's tough for Coleman. She's been out there for quite a long inning, this 4th inning. Faced quite a few batters.
All started with an infield single. Gone. And a bunt single by Matarong, and it's kind of snowballed a bit from there.
It really is. The ball has found the open space, and unfortunately for Texas, they haven't been able to kind of cut off all the offense.
Chantal Antera, who hit .308 here in Kirkland last year, 4 singles, rising her week. Back to Coleman.
Oh,
throws over the 3rd for 1, and that's it. So the lead runner erased. 2 away.
Coleman does a good job of helping herself out there. Quick turn, switched her feet, made a good throw.
Well handled there by Coleman. Chua, the first pitch strike. Angel with an infield single in the 3rd, came around to score. Yeah, the footwork by Coleman handling that play kind of gave you an idea of how decisive she was, figuring out which way she wanted to go. Popped up, center field, and making the running grab. Addison Olchak ends the inning. But a big frame for the Philippines. They push across 5, 3 of them on the swing of the bat by Chesga Palmera. A 3-run triple, clearing the bases and pointing the way to a 7-1 lead for the Philippines. 6-0 third run for the Philippines. Bottom 4th coming up. Philippines ahead of Texas 6-0 as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, this is day 1 of competition of the Junior League Softball World Series, but the festivities began yesterday with the opening ceremonies as you get a chance to see the 10 champions, the 10 teams that are participating in this tournament, the stateside teams you get a look at here, and you'll get a look at the international teams in the mix as well. Really cool, I'm sure, Kirk, for you to help be a part of it as you were part of the celebrity softball game immediately afterwards, but obviously a good tone setter for the week.
It was just great excitement. I think just seeing all those athletes out there, you could just see their excitement for the day, for what was coming, for the week ahead. And yeah, there was a lot of great events. A Challenger game and All-Star game. Yeah, a lot of great things going on.
Andy Mikulchak swings and misses at strike 1. Next pitch, go up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Faith Tamba has faced 10 batters and has struck out 9 of them.
Faith Tamba was picked by her team to be most likely to go pro.
The 1-1. Tails outside. 2-1 to Mikulchak, who loves competing in track. Actually, she qualified for state in the long jump and the 4x100. She's at the bottom of the order, the 11th batter in Texas's order. A little bit taken off of that one by Thomas. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Texas needs to make some adjustments here. They've got to figure out a way to put the bat on the ball and change the dynamic here offensively. Tamba's done a great job, but at some point in time, they're going to need to make an adjustment.
Well, Thomas has been able to work inside as well.
Definitely.
It's 10 strikeouts for Tamba. She had 10 in the entire game this morning in a full 7 innings of work. She's got 10 through 3 1/3. You do the math on that.
I think this morning was just a warm-up for her. She's just seems to be firing on all cylinders at this point in time.
Back to the top of the order we go. Trojak struck out in the first. Yeah, Philippines has the day off tomorrow. Faith might be going, hey, wait, I got more. Let's go. Let's get back out here tomorrow.
Faith Tamba definitely, she's on her 11th inning here of play, and she looks like she's just getting warmed up.
Oh, skips off of Behar's glove. The throw to first, got her anyway. Chua backing up Behar.
First base coach thinking he wants a replay. I don't know if they're going to call for it. Tremendous play by the second baseman getting over there. Chua's speed really came into play there. I heard able to get her glove on that ball and come around and make a play. I think they're going to take a look at it.
Yeah, Melissa Coleman is running over to the first base umpire to perhaps issue a challenge here. Alexis Velasquez, umpire over at first.
Behar almost made a great catch on that. It was a tough play. The challenges are able to be happening here if each coach has the ability to make as many challenges as they want. But the minute that they lose 2 challenges, then they are done for the game.
Yep.
So using a challenge is certainly something you can do, but if you're not going to be pretty confident in winning that, you might want to hold off.
And it was something that I thought the Philippines might do on a couple of occasions this morning, but chose not to, especially when it was down 3-1, bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, late in
got
the game.
the leadoff double, moved the runner over to third, and she was ruled to have taken her foot off of the bag and to have been picked off at third. It was really, really close, and there was no challenge there.
Yeah, you would definitely think that
There's a
certainly late in the
challenge
game, you're going to go and look to a challenge. You know, there's certain things that you can challenge and certain things you can't. You can challenge a fair ball and turn it to a foul ball, but you can't challenge a foul ball and make it a fair ball. But any play at a base can be challenged.
Let's take a look here and see what we've got. We're showing you what we have. The umpires, by the way, see the exact same angles that we are showing you. So it's close, but it appears potentially, perhaps Trojak may have beaten that one out. Now, of course, it has to be
indisputable.
Indisputable. I was thinking irrefutable, but indisputable works too.
Either one works. Yeah, to overturn the rule, that's going to have to be clearly that the call was undisputable. I'm not sure whether that will suffice from that angle, but it certainly looked like she might have been safe.
Now, of course, our opinions up here are not the official ones.
Either way, it was a tremendous play by Chua at second base, using her speed. Behar did a great job of actually trying to make a catch, but stayed attentive and obviously was able to cover first base.
I'll show you the reverse angle of sorts. I gotta break it down frame by frame, and might that be enough? I'm not sure.
And it's when the ball hits the back of the glove and is secured. It's not when it enters the glove. So you'll want to look to see if when the back of the glove shows that the ball has been hit.
Umpires have enough information, and the call has been overturned. So Trojak is aboard with the single.
Not sure if that was a call that was initiated from the coaches, but if it was, then they retain still their 2 opportunities.
Well, it's been feast or famine of sorts for the Texas batters. They've either gotten a single, they now have 2, or they've struck out. Done that 10 times. Mara Cuevas. Outside, swing and a miss for strike 1. Intriguing to note, and going back once again to this morning in which Tamba was untouchable in the first time through the order. Second time, California started to have a bit more success. So now that we're the second time through the order for Texas, let's see how things potentially change here.
Well, that's the one thing that we did see was there was a definitely difference between the first time through and the second time through. And one thing we did notice this morning is that Tama did not change speeds a lot, right? And so the one thing we're seeing here a little differently is that she's working a little inside of the part of the plate as much as the outside. So that's helped to kind of keep her being effective.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Big strike out there, obviously, to get that first out of the inning. Oh, a second out of the inning, my bad. Such a long delay with our review. It's feeling like that was the first batter of the inning.
2 away, and it's Easton Polar trying to extend the inning. Fouled off behind us.
It really is interesting because you think the only 2 balls they've really put into play were hits. The rest of the time they have not even put the ball in play.
Philippines defense hasn't had a whole lot to do so far. Nothing in 1. The Easton Polar, who's been busy at shortstop in the field for Texas. This one's popped up. Coming in, calling everyone off is Matterong from short. Bobbles the ball. And runners now at first and second. That extends the inning.
The wind's here certainly a little bit of a factor. I don't think the sun was a factor there, but the wind certainly might have been.
Just hit the back webbing of the glove. It's not corralled. So runners at first and second. 2 outs for Avery Coleman.
Avery would love to help herself out here and get her back some of those runs. I think the hard thing for a hitting pitcher to do is to stay within yourself and not try and do more. She's given up those 6 runs and certainly wants to get some back.
The ball's 2 strikes now.
Two aggressive swings there now with the 2-strike approach here with runners in scoring position. She really needs to allow herself to let the ball get deep and hit the ball to the opposite field. We'll see if Tamba comes up and in or stays on that outside.
Hit to center. And Tara makes the call and makes the catch. And keeps Texas off of the board. A couple more strikeouts for Faith Tamba. She's got 11. Philippines lead 6-0. Look at the line score, and the biggest difference in this game, a 5-run eruption for the Philippines. 6-0 our score as we begin the 5th inning. Joy Clarity and Kirk Walker coming to you from the Junior League Softball World Series in Kirkland, Washington, where Bacolod City Little League has returned. Went 1-3 last year, lost to Central in the first round of the elimination part of play. 6,640 miles, a 15-hour time difference. So if my math is right, coming up on 9 a.m. Monday morning. Yeah, 9 a.m. Monday morning. Back that way.
Bacolod Cities have been in their second game of the day today, and I think it showed that they are already played a game today, because I feel like they're much more relaxed and aggressive and playing really a different level of game. Tamba still doing what she was doing this morning.
Yeah. 11 strikeouts for her. Meanwhile, the Philippines getting it done at the plate to this point. Janine Pasilan struck out back in the 3rd. And the count goes to 0-2, and Charlotte Harrell deserves an assist on that. After that pitch, she turned to home plate umpire Sam Fontecchio and says, hey, can we get an appeal on that?
Absolutely. She was adamant.
Always fascinated by what catchers do to help win ball games. So we take you back to that last pitch. And Charlotte said, hey, look, can we take an appeal down to 3rd base there? What does Jose think out there?
You know, catchers do so many things that, you know, they're managing a pitcher, they're touching the ball every single time. Sometimes at this level, but not always at this level. They're calling pitches. They're trying to control the defense. So there's just so many things that a catcher can do and how they can impact the game. Their leadership, physical skill sets, and their relationship with the umpires, right? I think catchers and those plate umpires have a unique relationship.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Pasilan goes down on strikes. Sirocco is the batter. An RBI single, but was thrown out at second during the course of that play. She had the double also this morning, but also got picked off at third.
Sirocco's moving around in the box a little bit. She was up in the box, moved back into the middle of the box. She's got lots of speed.
Taking a second. Throw jack to Bain. 2 away. I think you hinted at it a little bit. Add to all of those things a catcher has to do, the physical toll that playing that position takes on your body.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I think there's no other position on the field that's going to take the wear and tear and the brunt of balls hitting the dirt and squatting down on their knees, and you know, it's a thankless job and physically very demanding.
Pasilan slaps that one opposite field off towards the 10th, and that actually bounces and rolls into the field of play over on field number 1. Looking right now, and the Chechi left fielder just got it, threw it back off the field.
I am surprised we haven't seen a few more foul balls going both directions, but again, thankful for this tree that we're sitting underneath that's potentially protecting us from some foul balls from behind us.
Yeah, we're calling this the tree house. Our broadcast perch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Could not connect on the off speeder. 3 up, 3 down. 6-0, still our score. Texas trying to chip into that. Bottom 5th coming up. It's been a fun day so far in Kirkland, Washington. 6-0 is where we are right now, heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're in the treehouse, which is what we've been calling our broadcast location. There it is, right there, middle of your screen. Tree right there. Literally, I'm touching the leaf right now. It's right above us, but really part and parcel of just the uniqueness of this event, the setting, how we're in the middle of the nature, how we're in the middle of the elements, which was, had mixed feelings about that this morning while it was raining, but it's still part of what makes this event is so cool.
Yeah, when I first was talking with Kinsey about working this event, she said, "What field are you on?" And I said, "Field 2." She's like, "Oh, you're in the treehouse."
First pitch fouled off. Charlotte Harrell gave her pitcher an extra strike with her appeal to the third base umpire. Harrell struck out in the 2nd inning. Kenzie Fowler and Sam Gore have been covered on field number 1. You can also check that out. Kenzie was a heck of a pitcher
She was. Faced her many times when I was at Oregon State. She was obviously at the University of Arizona while I was at Oregon State. A lot of battles.
Roller to third. Marlita across the diamond. Hangs on, one away.
Nicely done by Behar there, getting up the line and keeping her foot on the bag.
Especially on a throw that seemed to be kind of tailing in front of her a little bit. You have to kind of reach and dive at the same time.
It is definitely one of the toughest plays for that first baseman. You know, thank goodness the double base is there and allows the runner to have a running lane, but striding up the line where the runner's running at you is a scary thing.
Swing and a miss by Addison Olchak. Shiner, Texas. Population just over 2,000. 90 miles east of San Antonio.
Well hit ball.
Drops down for a base hit. Third single of the day for Texas.
Olchuk does a nice job there of attacking a pitch up in the zone. Thomas done a good job of getting a lot of strikeouts, but we're seeing the ball put in play a little bit more last inning and then obviously here this inning so far.
Trend that we noticed this morning with Tamba against California, perhaps unfolding once again, this time around against Texas. On the move, heading to second. And in as the throw bounces into center field, wants third as well, and gets it.
So risky move there, obviously aggressive base running. Could easily have been the second out of the inning there at third base, which would not be good when you're down 6 runs. But at this point, obviously, they've got a runner in score position and trying to get some momentum.
Well, and time's starting to run tight here. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Chances to score might be getting fewer and fewer as we go along. Timeout called. Now we're about ready to resume action after you look at the play. Nice base running by Olchak. Kendall Bain. Bain with the leadoff single in the third.
Good pitch there. Bain's an exceptional athlete. Volleyball, track, basketball, cross country, and does cheerleading.
Is that all? 1 ball, 1 strike. Now down 1-2. Kendall's a Texas A&M fan. A few of those in the Lone Star State too, I'm told.
And yet her favorite baseball, softball player, Caitlin Terry, who's at Texas Tech.
Didn't realize that was legal.
I got the chance to coach KT at UCLA for a couple of years. Exceptional athlete, two-way player, great speed.
Meanwhile, this is Faith Tamba's 12th strikeout.
Faith just continues to stay resilient, strong, getting those key strikeouts. Obviously, with the runner at third base, keeping that ball from putting in play is a huge, huge opportunity for the Philippines.
Texas left 2 on in the 4th.
Yeah.
Popped up. And just landing in the front row of the bleachers here. Off the bat of Patricia Price.
Yeah, the old school backstop here. It's a little bit rounded and covering over a little bit of fair territory. Kind of took that ball out of play.
Kind of band shell style.
Yeah.
0-1. In the air to right field. Sirocco can't make the running grab. And that brings home Texas' first run of the day.
Disappointing, obviously, there for Tamba. She gets that pop up to right field. It's a more difficult play because of the sun, but still a ball that should be made.
So Marco had a long way to go. She got there, hit the heel of her glove.
That sun's at a pretty strong angle there for the right field.
Yep. Reese Lyons at the plate. Looks at strike one. Reese loves any book about dogs.
Loves reading and doing makeup. Great hobbies.
0-1. One ball and one strike.
Has a very noble aspiration for a dream job, to be an oncology nurse. There is nothing more rewarding and needed and necessary for huge empathy factor for oncology nurse.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Texas trying to chip its way back into this game. Two and two. Nice at first. Under in the circle.
Scoring that run is big. Obviously, Texas, the home team here.
That strikeout looms even larger. The number 13, unlucky for some, but not for Faith Tamba. That's the number of strikeouts she has in this game. And it's 6-1 after 5. We have 2 games happening at once here in Kirkland, Washington. The one happening here on field number 2 is about to head to the 6th inning. The Philippines leading Texas 6-1. Meanwhile, over on field 1, do not adjust your set, folks. Yes, that is the score, and yes, they're only in the top of the 2nd inning. Puerto Rico leading Czechia 15-6. Now, it's been tough for Czechia. They already dropped one to North Carolina, the Southeast region champs, 23-8. They've already allowed 15 runs here, and they are still in the top of the 2nd inning with just 1 out.
Yeah, there is a run rule in place, and obviously it is 15 after 4 or 10 after 5. But you've got to get there.
Yep.
And right now, they're still early in that game.
Well, and amazingly enough, they were down 23-2 in that game against North Carolina this morning. They actually scored 6 in the 4th and could have extended that one if they'd scored 1 more. Philippines looking to score 1 more at the very least in the top of the 6th. Won't do it here. Handled well. Easton Pollard to Kendall Bain at first, retiring Hustila.
Easton does a nice job there of attacking that ball coming in. Not a hard hit ball, but if she lets that ball get to her, she's going to have a hard time throwing it out, so has to attack that ball. That's the defense that we saw early in the game that has been really resilient. Here we go, is another play.
Yep, another chance for Pollard.
Easton does another nice job. Again, this Texas defense has been solid other than that one inning.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call Pollard's fielding style flashy or slick or anything like that. It's just consistent. She's in the right place at the right time. Doesn't necessarily hurry to get the ball to where it needs to go. But you also see the confidence with which she fields her position as well. High, deep to left field off the bat of Naturong, but that is snared out there by Don Bishop.
Beautiful.
How about that? A long way to go for Don Bishop, but she makes a great grab in left. And it remains 6-1. Don Bishop with a crowning play. How about that?
Great catch.
Now, Texas needs to pick up a bat. Fans pulling for the Philippines, hoping their squad can get in the win column before close of business today. Head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's looking good for them right now. Their team ahead 6-1. Texas trying to change that. Philippines might have had a chance to get an extra base hit in the top half of the 6th inning, but that young lady changed everything with a fantastic grab in left field. Don Bishop getting it done.
Tremendous catch, and it completed a pitcher's dream, which is a 3-pitch inning for Avery Coleman.
A couple ground outs and a deep fly out. Now let's see what Bishop can do at the plate. She struck out to end the 3rd. Bishop can say hello in 6 different languages. Much of this game has been Faith Tamba saying good night to Texas batters. 13 strikeouts she's dealt.
In one language, softball.
Go on. Now 0-2. I can barely say hello in one language. Tamba locked in. Bishop ready to roll. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch.
Bishop might have the most unique dream job I've ever heard for a young person, male or female. She wants to be a major politician in the American government.
Okay.
I'm not even sure exactly how you dream about that.
No balls and 2 strikes. 9 outside, 1 and 2 from Tom.
But I guess saying hello in 6 different languages could be a great skill set to have if you're a politician.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
She might want a career in the State Department.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Called strike 3.
Tamba continues to just amaze me at how she is moving the ball around the zone and continuing to just get things done. Not a lot of her strikeouts have been looking, but that one certainly was an impressive pitch.
Tamba's 14th strikeout of this game. She starts off going Jack with a strike here. You combine that with what she did this morning, and Tamba struck out 24 batters so far today.
Not a bad day's work.
All in about 7 hours and 15 minutes.
And she's not done.
Nope. Outside corner called, 0-2. Colin Jack struck out to begin the 4th. Tamba's twirling, that's 15.
Well, again, Texas is going to have to do something different. They're going to need to make a committed change, do something different to try and get to Tamba here.
Texas fared a bit better second time through the order. A couple of singles, a couple of errors also helped out a bit as well. It pushed 1 run across, but not much closer. As we go back up to the top of the order, Trojak singled in the 4th. No balls, 1 strike. Well outside, 1-1.
That's the challenging thing, I think, in our sport, is that it's very easy to allow the momentum and the energy that's going against you to kind of become overwhelming. And I think these young athletes have got to continue to kind of be resilient and strong and realize that each moment, each at-bat brings its own... Oh.
Nice catch out and right by Sirocco. That is the third out of the inning. 3 up and 3 down. Top 7 in just a moment. Big difference in this game, a 5-run frame for the Philippines in the top of the 4th inning. And the big swing of that big inning came off the bat of Cheska Palmer.
Yeah, 3 of those runs, it's all come off of one swing. And turns on a ball down the line, ball rolls all the way to the fence, clears those bases.
3-run triple, part of that 5-run frame in the 4th. Everybody is safe. Everybody's happy and celebrating. And now the Philippines 3 outs away from getting a win. First, they're going to try to extend their lead here as we're at the top of the 7th inning.
Had a heartbreaking loss this morning, so I know that they're aching to come out of this day with a win after this morning's game, but they've looked like a different team, I think, this afternoon. While Tamba has continued to look dominant.
Yeah, that's been the main difference in this game. 15 strikeouts for her. And even though it hasn't necessarily been the cleanest played game for the Philippines, they've been able to be on the better side of the little plays, more so than they were this morning.
Yeah, and I think, again, today, the second game here today, they came up with some big strikeouts and some big plays when they needed them. And obviously, that wasn't the case earlier today.
Bahar fouls this one off again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If Tamba is there in the middle of your screen, she'll be coming up to bat potentially later on in this inning, should her services be needed. Down the line, fair ball.
That's going to go for extra bases for sure.
Bahar is in with a stand-up double.
Bahar, just such a great threat. Has the ability to put the ball in play, drive for power, put down a bunt. She just can do a little bit of everything.
Just kind of plunks that one down. The coach said, yeah, that's fair. Charisse Barlita was hit by a pitch in the first. Singled, drove in a run and scored in the 4th.
Time is out.
Barlita's been a factor all day today and been involved both on offense and on defense. And coaches talked about her as being a vocal, bubbly, fearless leader, disciplined, respected, and a rule follower. And that's going to be a hit.
I think they've called this foul right from jump. Hopefully umpire Sam Fontecchio is going to bring everybody back. So we'll do it again. Count goes to 1-1. Oh, by the way, Barlita, when you consider her performance from this morning, she's 3 for 3 today.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Another look. I hit the plate. Back up the middle and through. Barlita's 4 for 4. And the Philippines is up by 6.
Bahar's speed was really a factor there. Got a great jump on that ball. And I'm sure Barlita would much rather have that hit than the previous one that was called back.
Barlita 2 for 2 this morning. And 2 for 2 in this one. Big run brought across by Barlita. They had the afterburners turned on the whole way. Elise with 2 driven in the entirety of her stay in Kirkland last year, has 2 driven in this game. Jessica Palmera can add on to that. She already has 3-run triple that we showed you at the top of this inning. Hit to center. Snare. Olchak. The throw to second, not quite in time. Olchak appeared to misjudge that a bit off the bat, but able to recover and make the grab.
Makes a great catch there, and obviously the runner at second base was fooled as well. She actually left a little bit early and felt like she needed to go back and couldn't keep going.
Persistence by Olchak, able to hang in there, make the play. Faith Tamba looks at the first pitch, miss for ball one. Tamba an RBI single in the fourth.
She would love to pull up another RBI right here and take herself into the bottom of the seventh with another run.
Skips off of Polar's glove, and everybody's safe.
Tamba getting it done on both sides. Exceptional athlete.
That would have been a tough play for Polar to make. That puts runners at the corners. Still just one out. Another look, sprawling play, full extension, nowhere to go. Does save the run. Billy Feb Diaz would love to knock that run in. Walked into second, popped up to second in the fourth. So the runners the corners, top and bottom of your screen. Another chance for Polar. Makes the grab for one. And the throw went to third. And there is the out there. So doubled off the runner. Philippines does get another across, but it's still 7-1. Texas down to its final 3 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Philippines trying to close out a win potentially here against Texas. Marquee out front says Junior League Softball World Series, but Kirk, it might as well say the Faith Tamba show. She's been on fire all day.
She has been doing it all over the field. Certainly on the mound has been the most impressive thing we've seen on the day. This will be her 14th inning of the day, and 14th inning with a lot of strikeouts and a lot of success. Just continues to keep bringing the heat. Her mechanics are great. She's explosive off that mound. She's playing with a lot of confidence and certainly wants to get these final 3 outs in any way, shape, or form.
Went the distance, struck out 10 in a loss this morning to California. Has 15 strikeouts through 6 innings of work so far against Texas. Still needs 3 more outs. Mara Cuevas, 0 for 2, swings and misses at the first pitch. Still has a smile on her face.
Tom was ready to go.
Nothing in 2.
She is locked in and focused and doesn't want to repeat of the 7th inning from this morning.
Gave up the 2-run home run in the 7th. Ended up being the winning runs in that game. Off to a good start here. Bottom of the 7th. Strikeout number 16.
It's just so impressive that she's maintained her velocity and her movement. It's just really impressive. I think not only for a complete game, but her 2nd game of the day.
Hasn't been a lot of dramatic change in speeds, hitting spots.
If anything, I think she might be throwing a little bit more brisk this inning.
Yeah.
And I think the adrenaline and the desire to come out with a win, she's a competitor. And it's really impressive to watch this young athlete.
Eastern Polars Day. Fouled off, 0-1. Heads up, everyone. That's the thing about that band shell style backstop. The ball goes straight up. It's going to come straight back down, too. You better be ready.
It does ricochet down pretty quickly. Pollard's got a lot of strength here. She's long levers. She wants to try and connect and use the speed that Faith is bringing.
No balls, 2 strikes. Pollard getting her timing down, stepping back into the box. Bring her up on the outside corner.
Get him swinging, get him looking. She's getting it done in all ways.
Now just one more out. Pollard caught looking.
Those Philippine fans are ready and hungry for a victory here today.
Comes down to Avery Coleman. Struck out in the 2nd, flew out in the 4th.
Coleman's had a full day of work. She's thrown the full 7 innings.
Yeah.
And actually done a decent job. Really is that one inning that really kind of changed the complexity of the game.
Fouled off. Texas down to its last strike.
I think we're going to hear a roar from the 3rd base side of this field. If this next pitch is a swing and a miss.
The 0-2 pitch.
The future is bright for the Philippines internationally. If this young woman can keep playing the game and stay healthy, I think she's going to be a force in the future for international softball.
Dave Tama deals the 0-2. Hit high in the air to left, sized up by Diaz. She makes the grab. That's your ball game, and that is a masterpiece by Faith Tamba. 17 strikeouts in this game. 27 on the day in total. And the Philippines gets a much-needed win. Final score, the Asia Pacific champs 7, the Southwest region champs 1.
What a performance. What a performance. Absolutely impressive.
You look at the updated standings now after one day of work. Philippines able to even out their record at 1-1. Pennsylvania with the win earlier today at Canada's expense. California with the win earlier today over the Philippines. And Texas getting the loss as they fall to 0-1. Well, it's been a great day, and it wraps up for us here on field number 2. They're still going on field number 1 behind us between Czechia and Puerto Rico. So Head on over. Sam Gore and Kenzie Fowler have you covered over on field number 1, as there's been a lot of scoring over in that game. But in this one, our final score, 7-1. The Philippines gets the win over Texas. On behalf of Kirk Walker, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew, I'm Troy Clarity. Thank you so much for joining us here today. The great day 1 in Kirkland. What will day 2 bring? Join us for it. Philippines gets the 7-1 win over Texas here in Kirkland.